Ah, for Christ's sake. Never thought I'd be the one getting spooked after that feature. The plan was to get Nancy all snuggling up and holding on to me. I always said only a chick would get skittish for Rosemary's Baby. Sheesh. Cults and covens and all that are a load of shit anyway. Nope, nothing out here but me and the street. School's up ahead anyway. Maybe a mile more and we've got streetlights again. It wasn't a total waste at least. Nancy did kiss me when I dropped her off. Maybe I should schedule a picnic at Preacher's Rock. Some fresh air, plenty out of sight. Really, it's the perfect place to cop a feel. Now that's a plan, Jimmy. I wonder how long I should wait before ringing her up. Probably a couple days. Hello? Is someone? Hey! Get off me! Fucking freak! Get the hell off me! Fuck. Fucking freaks. I gotta get... What was... It's sharp.
Had to pick a linebacker. Lucky I had the tranquilizer rifle.
Doesn't matter. Deborah will be...
Seriously, look at his build. Of course you had to. Help me lift him. The sooner we get him back to the cellar, the sooner the lottery can begin.
I do so love them. Splendid idea on Deb's part. I wonder which will have the honor tonight.
On 3. 1, 2, 3.
Heavier than he looks.
You think? And we still have to hoist him in.
Took you long enough? I see the lottery has gotten you in quite the tizzy, Sylvia.
Oh, I just can't wait. I'll get to prune one of them to perfection. Snip, 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 right to the jugular.
Kid weighs a ton.
Definitely plays football. Or rather, played.
Don't make that distinction.
Well, that's what Aldo said. Maybe Mydron would prefer them young and strong? Ever give you any specifications, my love?
Blood is blood, dear. No time to waste now. That's the third.
A lot has managed to happen in the last 9 days. There's already been too much blood. But I must do as Mydron wills it. And his will is always right. Isn't it? At first it was just some bums, drunks, and a few duckhands without families. I think the total is now 11. The initial 2 were almost a test. Now we operate in groups of 3. Run them through one of Deborah's inventions. The lottery. I try to stay out of it. It's not my fault, you see. It's irrelevant. They're all cattle anyway. Using their essence to open the gateway will finally give them a purpose, even if only in death. Shouldn't we have gone for someone older?
It's just as Deborah said. Blood is blood is blood is blood.
What do you mean, Aldo?
Nobody will miss the others. I'm not even sure anybody's really noticed. But this kid is in high school. They'll have a search party up within 48 hours.
It's about time Eastmouth was exposed to Mydron's will. Juilliard and that Snively fellow will also be among the missing or converted soon enough. Attention will be drawn.
But...
There's no need to worry. It's almost time for Mydron's dominion to meld with ours. There's nothing the masses can do to halt our plans.
They were right. It was coming. There was nothing anyone could do. I couldn't even fight to take back. Yes, there was nothing anyone could do. It was all coming together now. A beautiful patchwork of flesh and fates. As we turned onto Iron Boulevard, a partially unpaved roadway that stretched from the gas station to a cliff wall on the edge of town, we passed the empty beach and lightless warehouses. A half-mile away from the edge of the downtown portion of Eastmouth sat Iron Cove Inn. It was more a museum than an inn, but every summer it would reopen, knowing that both the Lighthouse Festival and the Lobster Festival would draw guests. I can only imagine the struggle of booking an inn with just 20 open rooms during the summer rush.
No drunks tonight, it seems. There's usually always a few stumbling out of the Lorelei or the Peg Leg. Disappointing.
Even if the disappearances haven't attracted any normal attention, the drunks will certainly recognize who's missing.
Stop worrying, Aldo. It no longer matters. We only need a few more sacrifices.
Just a few more offered to Madron's gaze. With it, the world would be whole again. Those words floated around my head endlessly, but I still had no grasp on what they actually meant. It was an irrelevant question. The van pulled up into the nearly vacant parking lot and shut off next to the exterior cellar entrance. As I opened the side door of the van, I caught a brief glance of Madame Lazare, the aging innkeeper. Her husband had passed away nearly a decade prior, and each year she seemed to lose a bit more of herself. There had been hardly anything left when Deborah offered her Madron's gift. She'd accepted without hesitation. When she noticed me staring, she flashed a toothy grin and disappeared behind an alcove that the window did not expose.
Go ahead and prepare with the others, Sylvia.
With pleasure.
Time's a wasting, Aldo. Help me lift him.
With pleasure.
Close the door behind you, dear.
You go that way. I'll lead. Kid.
What a wondrous sight, is it not?
It truly is.
Now, hoist him.
What lay before us was a dimly lit cavern that Madame Lazare had deemed a cellar. Spiderwebs hung loose from the corners. Broken crates full of rotten ingredients clung to the walls. The smell was abhorrent, but none of that came close to the painstakingly artful display in the center of the room. Two men hung upside down, suspended from the firm wooden support beams by a series of chains. To the left was Dr. Juilliard. He'd proven strangely immune to the awe that is Madron. James had responded quickly, with a stab to the leg and a broken femur. It did not prove difficult to restrain Juilliard after that. The other, that strange Snively fellow, came upon a previous abduction on accident. He also proved unreceptive. Maybe that's less unfortunate. His whining and whinging grew tiresome quickly. Each man hung from their thighs above a contraption that I had regretfully helped design. An elevated layer of wood hung nearly a foot above a trough. Deep grooves had been carved within the wood, forming the shapes of 3 triangles, or at least nearly. Where each point would have been was instead a sigil. Though Deborah was the only one that knew their significance, I can describe them. At the topmost point sat a hook that nearly resembled a flower. Strange lettering adorned each side. At the bottom left point, it almost appeared as if a man hung from an inverted tree. Finally, the last sigil had the top half of a star, attached to the bottom half of a circle. Inside, more foreign words filled the space. When all of the blood had been drained from the bodies, the sigils could be lowered to release the purified blood into the troughs. It was a masterwork of the macabre, one that had already been fed its fill of death. Those who lost the next lottery would again add their essence to the pool needed for Madron's gateway. As my train of thought ended, James had already chained the kid and was nearly finished raising him into the air.
I look around this room and see the best that Eastmouth has to offer. My friends, my loyal followers of Mydron. I can see the thirst for his approval in each of your eyes, and I am the same. We all must cherish this moment. Though we may be cleansing the town of its unwanted, its unneeded, we are still offering a life. It is a sacred process, and one that must be done correctly, or it is all for naught. Now, whom among you would like to take the lottery for our unconscious offerings?
Me? I would love to.
Very well. You may do the honors for Dr. Juilliard.
I haven't participated before, but I must do so before his arrival.
Very good, Janet. You may take the kid. Aldo, you have yet to take part in the honor. Would you accept Snively's lot?
Couldn't there... I shall do it.
Very good, Aldo. Now, the lots shall be drawn. Sylvia, step forward.
I love this part. I do.
Now you, Janet, step forward.
I can do this. I am doing this.
It's finally your time, Aldo. Prove your merit to Mydron.
I shall.
Very good. Now you may open them.
Poor Dr. Juilliard. Ah well, he never appreciated my artistry anyway.
He's been chosen. Guess I'll have to wait for the next round.
What are you waiting for, Cosgrove? You already know the result. Open up the damn slip of paper, old sport.
He dies. I have to kill him. I'll kill him. I will. What does it matter? He's not chosen. He's just a commoner. Just worthless. Right?
It'll be easy. He's unconscious anyway.
Exactly true. Why don't you...
Me first! Oh, come on, Deborah. You owe me. Remember the election?
Of course I do. It feels like a lifetime ago, but... You may go ahead, Sylvia.
All those years of nurturing flowers, growing rows of herbs, trimming away thorns, and pulling weeds to reveal the perfection in every garden. It was always so practical. First, a scalpel works perfectly. I stab with precision.
Beautifully done.
Then, I remove the bloody scalpel and take these compact garden shears. I shove a blade through the incision and begin to cut upwards. Snip, snip, snip. Done. Awful lot of blood you got there, Doc. No matter. It's Mydron's now.
Now that's
Excellent
more like
work, my dear.
Mydron will be so pleased.
Go on then, Aldo. You've just witnessed how it's done. Go on and bleed that creep.
I will. With that saw over there. Mydron appreciates the display too, doesn't he? I'll cut here, and then...
Do it already.
I'm trying! I must. It's good. It's to make us whole again. I'll just draw a sliver, then it'll be easy, and... I'll just... I won't. I can't. I can't!
I knew it. Out of the way, Jerry.
I'm not a failure! Madrin must want someone else to perform the sacrifice. No! Oh!
Isn't this easy, Aldo? Whining to yourself like a child, are you? Pathetic. It's a wonder that Madrin hasn't had you bled yourself yet. And there. Done.
He's nearly headless.
We wanted the blood.
Edna is correct, Janet. Now, what are we to do with poor little Aldo? I have just the thing. Madrin would like a word with you, Aldo.
What? How would I?
Don't find it, Aldo. It's a gift, really.
Unhand me! I'll try again. Yeah, I'll just sacrifice one from the next batch.
Relax now, my sweet child. This won't hurt a bit.
Don't you! Dare. I can't do this. What is wrong with me? Back and forth. I want it. I hate it. Never stops. Never. Fucking Madrin is displeased by your resistance, yet remains a forgiving master. It is not always easy to lose oneself to become whole. You've stolen everything from me. Torn apart. They've all gone mad. We've all gone mad.
Behold the dark sea before you. Behold the power that Madrin possesses.
It couldn't be.
It can, and it is. Well, of sorts. In your previous life, you feared this man, and yet you found yourself jealous, too. You craved his libertine nature. You craved the power to disregard others' perceptions.
Fuzz off, you sack of rotting meat! God, it was so relieving to hear that Janet's son put a bullet in your throat. I had no idea the depths that Kent sunk vicariously through you. But, Mother of God.
Good. Rid yourself of your anger on this apparition. You do not need old hatred.
What the hell do you want, Madrin?
Acceptance. Fear not, Aldo. You are not like the others. I have special plans for you too. You will help retrieve the psychic.
Don't come a foot closer. Step forward, Master. I'll fucking plunge. I'll do it. Right off the ledge into the...
You won't. My child, there was never any choice in the matter. Now receive your gift.
Forgive me, Mother. It was overwhelming, blinding, all around me. I heard voices. My father, my mother, Kent, Deborah, James, Douglas, Elizabeth, Obediah. Was I free in death? Was this? You cannot die here, child. These gifts cannot be abandoned. You will receive them, whether by choice or force. It's blinding, but it's not light. The darkness reaches out to hold me, cocoon me. Did I ever even have a chance?
The Eastmouth podcast is written, produced, and engineered by DC Tullis. Based on the world created by DC and JD Tullis.
What a night, folks. What a week, even. Fix-It Hardware cares about your summer needs. Have a problem with wasps? Need a new grill or building a shed, perhaps? Well, they've got you covered with some great new deals, and I apologize. I'm not my usual self today, folks. Still, do yourself a favor and give their deals a look. I hope all of you are safe tonight. I'm sure many of you heard Bert's call earlier this week, but it seems that the number is growing. The initial report was that a few fishermen, dockhands, and drunks had allegedly vanished. None of that is all too uncommon. Career changes, accidents, visiting family, poorly gone affairs, and so on. But this? At least 9 men just walked off somewhere? I'm doubtful at best. And with the gold, yes, I'm going there, folks. It's not just hogwash. One of my friends, who will remain anonymous, spotted another bar. What's that, 5 bars of gold just washing up on the shore in the last week now? And those are only the reported ones, mind you. Something's going on, and frankly, I don't have any answers this time. If someone you know goes missing, let it be known. Tell the sheriff, tell me, tell anybody. He can only pretend this is just a handful of dockhands and drunks drifting around or drowning for so long. Outside of that, I guess I'll fall back on an oldie. Lock your doors, barricade your windows if you can, and keep your rifles handy. Well, we've already taken calls, and I've fed you your weekly buzz of town politics and entertainment news. I don't have anything else, so I think I'm going to turn in. Take care, Eastmouth, and genuinely, be safe out there.
Fuck, it is cold. Still can't believe Caleb got such a great shot of one of those washed up gold bars. Symmetry, contrast, everything. If that doesn't get him some bigwig attention, well, those bastards must be stuck so far up their own asses that they... Who's there? I'm armed. Careful now, I was not imagining that. Shit!
You idiot, Gerald!
Fuck, it pinned my coat!
You can't aim for shit!
Come on!
We're good for nothing.
No matter. I'm gonna get this freak.
I saw it then. Carrie Whitelock and Gerald Meyer emerged from behind a dense thicket. Carrie brandished a baseball bat, while Gerald held a tranquilizer crossbow awkwardly.
If I got hit, that was it. I'd be screwed. I remember the sting of Scott's crossbow all too well. Luckily for me, I wasn't lying when I'd said that I was armed. Fucking drop it, Gerald!
Stupid little shit. You can't. My fucking knee. Little bastard got my knee.
Where was Carrie? She'd been over there by the edge of the thicket, maybe 15 feet away, and then...
Die!
Shit! Within a second, she'd lunged out from her hiding place and bashed my hand brutally with her bat. The gun fell from my grip while my pinky finger began to surge with pain. A half-second's glance revealed she'd broken it. I didn't stop to think when my jacket finally tore free from the dart. This was not Carrie Whitelock, the town council people-pleaser. No, this was an animal in human skin. And so I did what anyone would have done. I fucking ran. Desperately darting left and right, hoping I could outrun her or at least lose her in the trees. I knew this neck of the woods a hell of a lot better than she ever could have.
Get back here and let me skin you alive already!
Shit! That was close. Come on.
No escape! No escape!
left through the overgrown bushes and trampled weeds, over the fallen logs, past the slight dip still filled with the day before yesterday's puddle of rain. I felt like I was in some kind of twisted marathon, trying to make it to the finish line while being chased wildly by the starter with their gun. It was pitch black all around me, and my ripped jacket began to feel hotter than a sweltering furnace. It didn't matter, just over that hill would be.
What? She's going to catch up. Dead. Shut up, Brune.
When we find you, we'll bleed you and then I'll skin you. It'll be fun. One stupid teenager at a time. I'll rid the streets of you for Mydrin.
She was very close now, maybe 15 feet from my stumble. Luckily, I wasn't fully exposed. There had been a fallen tree to my left that I was able to partly shimmy under. Beyond that, this decline was completely shrouded in darkness. If I was perfectly quiet, she'd have to stumble down herself or get real smart about where I could have gone to find me. And so I waited patiently with a now pounding head. My vision began to fill with little shapes as the urge to vomit arose, but I forced it all back.
Little shit. Wherever you hit, I'll find you. No way I wouldn't have seen him make it to the hill, or heard him stumble into the bushes. Nowhere to hide, Obediah. I'll get you. Get your friends. Get your freak of a mother.
I stayed silent in that position for 2 to 3 minutes, just to be certain that she was gone. When I felt that I was safe, I emerged from my hiding spot. Outside of the decline, the moon pierced through the wall of trees and produced enough light for me to get a better look at my pinky finger. It was indeed broken. Fortunately for me, I couldn't yet feel much pain, or really much of anything for that matter. I was awfully lightheaded. That meant I had to get home fast. I stumbled through a narrow ravine path along the hill I'd originally aimed for, and found myself home in about 15 minutes. My hands shook as I fumbled the lock to the back door. I dropped the keys twice before finally getting it in, opening the door and locking it behind me. I didn't take off my muddy shoes or my jacket. I just collapsed onto a couch in the living room and sputtered out a deep cough. My eyes quickly began to flutter, back and forth. I was going now, losing consciousness. Exhaustion. Maybe I had another wound, probably my head. I don't know, I saw my mother standing there, but it couldn't have been because my father was there too. They were both smiling and beckoning to me, each dressed all fancy like they were going to a party with some investor or old money tycoon. I wanted it to be real so desperately. For my father to be home, for my mother to be beside me. But it wasn't real. In the dead of night, I was alone. And then the void of sleep overwhelmed me.
After Antarctica, I didn't think I'd ever tire of hot tea, but here we are again. It always takes too long for the palate to reset. You were always such poor company, Archimedes. You know that, don't you? What is it? This is Slant. I was wondering how long it would take. Seems whoever's bringing it ashore is making good time. Yep, the usual. I want 2 combat teams, a medical team, and any spare research teams dispatched. Notify Chuck? Oh, him. Yes, why don't you? It's all happening in his town. Bring him in when the combat teams arrive. Let's see what he's made of. Am I sure? I think after New Mexico, we're in need of some new recruits. But you can check with accounting. No, I have nothing else. All right, goodbye. Ah, a seaside breach, Archimedes. Would you get a load of that? Let's see how many manage to survive this time.